and here I am, sat on Queen Victoria's chair. Problem is, she's farted in this chair. Oh God! And it still smells like it.
Yeah, so we're at the top floor of the shop, actually right next to my desk. Thanks, Dad, for putting me in the haunted room.
Nice. Can't. Just set it down on the floor real quick. You honestly can't script this. There's bound to be spirits there. Plus, on top of that, this place is filled. I mean, filled with historic pieces, filled with energy. I mean, there's actual things Hitler himself owned. If there are any spirits here tonight, please use the Ouija board to try and communicate with us.
Babe, why are we racing to Portsmouth? What's the big rush?
Right, so I've actually just been contacted by the owner of a place called the Sallyport Inn. Now this place, quite interestingly, it's got a lot of history. It's one of the oldest buildings in Portsmouth, but even more interestingly, the man who went missing stayed in this place was actually the inspiration for James Bond, the character James Bond.
No way.
The author Ian Flemmings, yes.
Oh wow.
Now they actually claim that this place is haunted by him. Basically, his name was Lionel Buster Crabbs. He was a spy for the British government watching the Russians, and he actually went missing one day. His last known location was in this inn we're going to. They don't actually know what happened to him, though. A couple weeks later, a body with no head and no limbs washed upon shore. And I guess at the time they didn't really have any good DNA testing, so they didn't really have a way to determine if it was him or not. I've been called out to this place though because apparently the activity has been picking up in this inn. We will actually be the second people to ever ghost hunt this location.
Oh, wow.
The first being a local ghost hunting team, and the BBC, I believe, did a report on it because it was such a huge event that somebody had actually gotten permission to ghost hunt this building. The BBC wrote articles about this. So we are effectively the second people with pure permission from the owner. I'm going to make sure we get interviews. I want to talk to him about what's going on. But the place is closed now, and he wants us to rush down and basically get in this place before it's too late. So that's why we're rushing to Portsmouth right now.
That sounds brilliant.
Yeah, well, hopefully we get to see all this activity that he's been on about. Right, I just got to get fuel real quick. So, one thing I forgot to add, which I think is a bit more interesting, is even if this place doesn't happen to be haunted by the famous Lionel Crabbs, this location alone, because of how old it is, the amount of murders that have happened in this location as well, it used to be a hospital, a war hospital during the Crimean War. There's bound to be spirits there. Plus, on top of that, this place is filled. I mean, filled with historic pieces, filled with energy. I mean, there's actual things Hitler himself owned. There's cursed items that they say. There's like, what was it, a hat in there? There's only 4, they believe there was 8 made in the entire world, but only 4 can be confirmed. One of them are in there, and they say whoever wears that hat, what was it, dies an untimely death. There's some messed up stuff in this building. So even if it's not haunted by Sir James Bond, it's definitely, probably, more than likely haunted by something. And either way, if he is experiencing activity, there's got to be something there. Right, I gotta go. I'm getting distracted by such a good story that I'm forgetting we're on a time crunch. I don't want to be running late. Oh, come on.
That's a nice shirt you got there.
You like it?
Rocking that Let's Summon Demons.
Summon demons. You know, the irony is, people wear this as a joke. I genuinely do this as a profession. Yo. I didn't realize there was an active pub. There's actual people here.
Oh wow, it's packed.
Right, let's see if we can... Alright, through here. Yeah, through here. Hello. I wasn't expecting it to be an active pub here. Not bad.
Jerry will be back in a moment, so
Yeah,
Okay, no worries. will he be meeting us upstairs or?
Oh yeah, it'll take you around.
All right, no
Amazing.
worries.
Thank you so much.
Right, so this is a bit unexpected. Yeah, but that's okay. This place is super big. In fact, already it's gotten quiet. Already it's gotten quiet. We're just on the ground floor. This place is like 6 stories tall. We're going to be going upstairs. Holy crap! Look at some of these antiques.
The owl! Look at them!
Oh,
Damn!
that ain't a sign. I don't know what is. Now, from my understanding, this place is filled with historic things, like from all over the world, from world famous like figures from history. Like this is
Anyone that we'd know, or
other than Queen Victoria, Hitler,
what? No way.
a number of soldiers that fought in the war.
Oh my goodness, this is gonna be mad.
I mean, think about it. Every piece in here holds energy from wherever it was originally in time. So, whatever we find, I mean, it could be attached to one of these objects if it's not the actual Lionel Crabb who is said to haunt this place. So the owner who has called us here, apparently he'll come be getting us in just a moment. He'll take us upstairs. We'll do an interview with him, and yeah, we'll ghost hunt this place. As I said, I wasn't expecting there to be a pub down there, but I think maybe the energy from the pub and the liveliness could actually spark activity further up in the building. But I'm positive it will be dead quiet up there.
Do you want a microphone? Except like a...
Oh no, this could pick up an ant fart, honestly. It's that good. Right, so the first thing I just would have you do is say your name and where we are and what you do here.
My name is Răzvan Ionashcu. I actually come originally from Romania. I'm half and half now, Romanian and British. I'm 37 years old and I'm a historian here. We are in the Sally Port Inn, actually in the Sally Antiques, which is the antique center in the Sally Port Inn. This building is special because the foundation dates back to the 13th century, and this building is actually 17th century. So behind me, what you see is actually a part of the old wall, and obviously the repairs that were done throughout the ages can be seen. And actually this building survived here. It was literally a miracle because the site around us was bombed to hell back in 1941. Behind this wall used to be a Royal Navy hospital, which aided people that took part in the Crimean War back in the 1850s. And this part of the building was an annex to this hospital, and somehow it just survived through the centuries. And the building is absolutely packed with history, and it has been split in two and then reunited and then split again, then reunited. Many families lived here. A lot of stories, life stories happened over the years. In this building actually Admiral Nelson apparently stayed a couple of times, and this is actually the last place where Buster Crabb has been seen. For whoever doesn't know who Buster Crabb is the character that inspired the 007 legend. And the story is quite interesting because this guy was a spy during the Second World War, and he actually was advised not to spy on the Russians when they actually docked a ship here with Mr. Khrushchev. And he decided to do it anyway, and then he disappeared mysteriously, and apparently they found a body, a beheaded body, a couple of days later. But yeah, no one confirmed anything, you know, if this guy was dead or alive. Thing is, the MOD tried to erase all traces of him staying here. And beside all this, if that wasn't enough, the items that you see around me carry their own stories. I mean, here I have a musket that is basically the only surviving example of the first firearm that was used by the French Foreign Legion. So it goes back to the Napoleonic Wars, and it's used till quite late. And there's a rifle, hunting rifle there, which was made for George III. And there's other pieces here which are no less famous. And we have suits of armor here, and we have rare books, and we have samurai outfits, and all sorts of toys that were used more than 80 to 100 years ago, and models that were made by French prisoners of war from bones, because here on the hill there was actually, in Portchester Castle in this area is very important because it dates back to the 5th century BC. And when Romans invaded England, they actually made their castrum. The castrum is a sort of a Roman fortification. It's square, and it can fit a legion in it. So it's about 5,000 people in it. And the castle was repeatedly used after the Romans by the local population, and then by William the Conqueror, who established there one of his first castles, and later on by Henry I and the II, Henry III, and so on and so forth. And eventually, during the Napoleonic Wars, the place became a prisoner of war place. And what happened was, like, these French prisoners were kept there quite cluttered, really, and in not the best conditions, and they were terribly bored. I mean, you can imagine, you just sit in one of these tiny rooms with a lot of people around. You have nothing to do, and what they started doing, they started to build things from the cow bones, because they were served soup. They were eating soup, and they would have these kind of large cow bones, and they'll make things from them. And they made everything from domino sets to tiny boxes to absolutely beautiful model ships on which some of them actually served sailors, and they are incredibly accurate and very, very interesting. So yeah.
All right, so are you telling me everything you've just listed off, and that is a whole, and that doesn't even begin to cover what's in this building? Are you telling me you guys sell all of this stuff? It's all for sale, so people could actually come here and buy a piece of history just like that.
Absolutely, and I'm very happy, me and everyone else here, we're very happy to tell them the stories, and if they need any sort of a historical information about these pieces, we are here to provide it for them. And yeah, everything is for sale.
Well, I will say, I don't want to break the interview really, but I mean, even I'm tempted to pick up a few items. Those watching, if you're interested, at the Sallyport Inn, there's the Sally Antiques, and yeah, everything you see here, I'll even move the camera around. Everything you see here, and there's how many floors here?
Well, we have 4 floors actually.
4 floors filled with things, historic things.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Now, do you feel in any way that some of these items collect energy from just history, or even one of your colleagues was saying that some of these items were in possession of people during their deaths? Do you think it's possible?
Anything is possible. Anything is possible as long as you choose to look into it. And what I would say is that every single item here, even if you believe or not in ghosts, in stories, in spirits, in energies, and everything, the fact is that every single item here has a story and a person or more people behind it. Because you have some of these items which were actually passed from generation to generation, from hand to hand, for more than 100 years. Some of them for 600, 700, 800 years. I actually have a sword there which dates back to the 14th century, probably used by a knight back in the medieval times at the Battle of Nicopolis. So, and who knows who else touched it, what happened to it. So every single thing here has a human presence behind it, has a story, and has a lot to tell you, as long as you actually know what to search for. If you look at it carefully, you'll understand, and you'll discover a lot of things. You'll discover its story, and you'll discover what, how the things were back in the day, and how those people looked like, and what they did, and because on a piece of wood, you can discover scratchings that mean something. You just have to search for them. So yeah.
So hey everyone, my name's Catherine. I work here with my father who owns this business, Sally Antiques. At the moment I'm just antiques dealer in training. I actually just bought my first item, a Galil Israeli 5.56 assault rifle, so that's exciting.
Can I ask, does it still work?
No, it's deactivated.
Deactivated.
Yeah, it's
okay.
deactivated. Obviously, we can't sell live weapons here. That would be totally illegal. So yeah, that's what I do really here.
Brilliant. Could you tell us, have you heard any rumors or any personal paranormal experiences within this extremely historic building?
Yeah, so me personally, I've yet to experience any paranormal activity here. However, I have heard from other people, local residents, the owner of this building, Mark actually, his father came to visit with dowsing rods, and he could kind of, I don't know what they mean, but they were moving and he was going around the bar and he could kind of sense, what he believes to be paranormal activity. As well, in the ground floor, where my father was at his desk, there have been sightings of a Victorian-looking man sat in the window at night as people have just walked by, and obviously no one's actually there. As well, on the very top floor, actually where my desk is, funnily enough, there is a noticeable temperature change. And actually, this area is where Buster Crabbe and Nelson used to stay. You've heard my colleague Raz talk about it already, so I won't go into that. But yeah, there's been noticeable temperature differences. People have reported hearing sounds. I think that's just
It's just a camera, yeah.
Oh god, it's not coming out just yet. So yeah, that's what I've heard personally about the building. But as of yet, I'm still to say hello to our ghosty friends.
Now, are you gonna hang about if we tried using a couple devices tonight?
Oh, absolutely! I'd be interested to see how you guys operate.
Absolutely.
I mean, I've never had any introduction to this kind of world, so it'd be fascinating to find out what you guys do, really.
What do you think it would take to make you a believer? What would you actually have to experience?
Well, do you know what, mate? I do have only one paranormal story, and this happened when I was a child, so I am doubtful of its authenticity. It could have just been a lucid dream, but I was asleep and I just felt something shake me, and there was no one in the house at the time. Well, my dad was, but he was asleep downstairs, and I woke up and I just saw these, it sounds so ridiculous, but these pigeons with bright red eyes, and I ran over to my light, switched it on, everything disappeared, and I was just like, what the bloody hell was that? And I just thought it was a bad dream, but to this day it felt so real. I can't say whether or not it was paranormal. I can't go either way. It was really quite haunting as an 8-year-old girl, experiencing that.
It's brilliant. The last thing I would like to ask, so who was it you said who was using the dowsing rods? That would be the owner?
Mark downstairs, the guy who owns the bar, his father came in to use the dowsing rod because his father's a believer. And
so he came to use the dowsing rods because he personally thought something was...
Well, yeah, obviously, he knows the history of the building, so he wanted to come and investigate it himself. I know he does that in his personal time, in other kind of historical buildings. So it was really quite interesting just seeing these little rods move and indicating some kind of life, I suppose, or what was life once upon a time.
Yeah, funny enough, dowsing rods. So they're believed, mostly by spiritualists, to allow spirits to use their energy. I mean, obviously dowsing rods initially were used to detect water underground. Mm-hmm. But it is believed that they're able to somehow use your energy through your hands to then manipulate the dowsing rods to answer yes or no on whether they split apart or cross over.
Of course, yeah.
So that's quite interesting. So, did it look like you got results then?
Yeah, no, the dowsing rods moved. So he would explain to me how to use them. You would ask a question, and then obviously the rods would either move inward or outward. So it would be something like, is my name Catherine? And then they would move. Is it cross for yes or cross for no?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, just things like that to kind of test it out. And yeah, he just went around and asking random questions and doing whatever he was doing. So when the building was being renovated here, so it was a right mess. People would walk by these windows at night and report seeing a Victorian-looking man sat at the back, just minding his business. Been sightings of other types of ghosts, but nothing I've experienced personally, just from what I've heard from locals and people at the bar and whatnot.
So where are we now?
So we're at the top floor of the shop, actually right next to my desk. Thanks, Dad, for putting me in the haunted room.
Nice.
But yeah, this is where Buster Crabbe and Nelson used to stay when this was a hotel. And this is the coldest room in the whole building. And as I've heard, cold usually means some kind of ghost activity. People have heard noises, creaking, that kind of stuff. Again, I've not seen it yet, but it'd be cool to oh, sorry.
You did just run up the stairs after all.
Yeah, I know, I'm really not fit, mate.
I want to make a point though. You say this is the coldest room.
Yes.
The weird part about that is heat's supposed to rise.
Yeah, funny that, isn't it?
Typically the top floor is the hardest in a building.
Yeah, exactly. So it's strange how that kind of works out that way, isn't it?
Yeah, that is pretty
Rather
weird.
suspicious.
Well, we'll definitely have to try something in this room tonight.
Yeah, I think this will be where you'll find anything. If you're going to find something, you're most likely to find it here.
I'm not sure if it's a chair I want to sit
Very
talking.
professional.
So okay, so maybe
I tell you what I could do. I could do this.
Yeah.
I could talk around here. We have
Yeah.
with a picture of Queen Victoria, and that's where her head would be.
It's like you're sitting on her lap.
yeah.
And the problem is she's farted in this chair,
Oh God.
and it still smells like it. My name's Ross McAnally, and I am one of the traders who deal with antiques and mainly militaria here, to be honest, but a lot of other stuff as well. And I'm a business partner with Jerry, who we run the website for the entire business. So I'm heavily involved. More of a hobby that became a business, to be honest. So it's the sort of thing I like, and here I am, sat on Queen Victoria's chair.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Other than the fact I now know she's farted on it, but what exactly is the story behind this chair?
Well, this chair came from Osborne House over on the Isle of Wight, which was Queen Victoria's favourite place. It was her home, where she went when she didn't want to be anywhere else doing duties and things like that. And it's where she died. Osborne House is on the Isle of Wight. It's a big, lovely manor. You should go there if you haven't been there. And it was a gift to her from her cousin, or niece actually, Mary, who then became the Queen of Romania through marriage. So it's a very important piece. It was on the inventory, and it was bought from Osborne House by Andrew Bennett, who actually owns a shop here. Nice chap. And in Victoria's later years and the weeks leading up to her death, she stayed in Osborne House. She could well have sat on this chair. It was a chair she did use, we know that. So we don't know any more than that really, but you can come and sit in the chair and get a feel for what the luxury that Queen Victoria felt. It's very comfortable.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Would you like
So anyway,
to
I'm
I'd like a
gonna have
demonstration?
a
Have a seat. Yeah.
I feel kind of naughty sitting on it. We need one of these.
You look comfy.
Oh, I am comfy. This is brilliant. Get an ottoman up there. Get your feet up.
Yeah. You have a small boy.
Nachos.
Though.
Or just, you can just get me down like that. There we go. We don't have to pay money for ottomans.
Oh yeah. No,
I was going to say, what are you thinking?
I didn't know what you were talking about for a second, but that's brilliant. Now let's move to the uniforms. Yeah, I can tell.
I hope it does temperature change and get nice and cold.
That's all she did, isn't it?
Oh wow! So you have a number of uniforms here. I can see that they're dating from all kinds of periods of battle.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to mention the
no.
Third Reich stuff, but what I'll do, I will just say they're from all conflicts from all periods.
Yeah, I
So
can see.
What? And a quarter of a pint amongst me.
What is that one actually?
one here?
Yeah, right
Yeah,
here.
I'm interested
That's
by
This is a samurai uniform from the Edo period, where there was a lot of conflict in Japan, and very brutal time. If you ever look at the code of the warrior, the Bushido warriors. Bushido was the code that samurais lived by, and it was quite brutal. You know, you could be executed for not bowing low enough and that sort of thing. And these guys would have wandered the lands with this fighting the cause. And issuing sharp retribution.
So how many of these do you think were actually worn in battle? If not all of them, most of them, some of them?
Well, they were all made for battle. They were all made for conflict. So we would be surprised if this one wasn't in battle or used near battle. So yeah, it is a genuine and a seriously made up thing for a warrior. We have Boer War uniforms.
Yeah.
We have lots of the uniforms from the First World War.
Second World War.
Second World War, yeah, various
all around
other conflicts. So if these uniforms could talk, they would tell us some very interesting stories, I'm sure.
They have a hell of a lot of stories. Right, guys. Oh my God, I'm so afraid to break this chair. So now that we've gotten a full idea of the history of this building and what goes down here, I'm thinking we need to get the lights off. The energy in all these objects and all the history within this building must be seeping into it. Plus, with what we know already about the building, how it's already allegedly haunted by Lionel Crabb, and at this rate, I wouldn't be surprised if it's haunted by every single soldier whose uniform has ever ended up here, every single weapon that's ever been used to take a life. There's some things in this building I'm not even allowed to discuss, let's put it that way. In fact, you guys would have to come here yourself if you want to see what I'm talking about. Certain things are just not YouTube friendly. Not in any really bad way, just, you know. We'll keep some of the mysteries of this place for your own experience if you ever do decide to come to Sally's Antiques. How often do you have people come up into the attic?
Well,
Just us usually.
It's just us usually. We just go up and down. Well, not very often, but yeah. It's kind of,
I feel privileged. Let's go up into the attic of this building.
This is where we store everything, so apologies for the mess.
Oh, don't even worry about it.
Obviously, a part of the original attic doesn't exist anymore because it collapsed over the years.
Has it? See, the building, oddly enough, feels stable, but doesn't it ever concern you a little bit with just how much it moves?
Yeah, it is a bit strange. Yeah, it's kind of after you get used to it, it's not that problematic. But this is mine.
It's an auto light.
Oh, don't even worry about the auto light. We can keep the lights on if you want.
You're not bothered. Okay.
No.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, we just got used to it. But otherwise, yeah, it's kind of people who visit this place first time, they freak out.
Yeah. Oh, that's weird. It could just be the building, or like the floors being uneven. I can't tell. That's a slight head change there. Walking up it.
Really?
Do you not feel anything? Does it feel odd when you walk up to this bit?
Well, probably we're used to it.
Yeah.
It's just we
Used to all the
we
creaks and that, you don't
Exactly.
notice.
Plus, the place where we used to work in the dockyard was even creepier than this. Way creepier than this.
Oh.
So yeah, it was an old warehouse, and it was built on pretty much on the jetty on water.
Yeah.
And you could see on the walls the bricks which bear the markings of people who actually worked there back in the 18th century. So it was, and that was freaking scary in the night. I tell you
It
that.
was bloody chilly there
And it was very cold, incredibly cold.
Maybe
It was
one of these
colder
days I'll do
inside
it
the
there.
building than
So
it was
one
outside.
day probably won't see it. Yeah. But yeah, this is. obviously we
Oh,
got
do
used
you have
to
your
this.
light?
Yeah. So I think it's a dead end.
Yeah.
It's still just interesting.
This is really interesting, this bit. What's that all about? Is that a window or is that a door? A latch?
That's obviously a door to get out on the roof.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, cool,
yeah.
okay.
It's interesting because Mark actually decided to build the roof on top of the old roof. That's what he did.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
And when we first came here, I do remember there was a fox living in here.
Oh.
And she lived for years because the building was abandoned since 2007 up to pretty much 2019. No one lived here. It was literally packed with spider
That
webs
would have been the
and
prime
things
time
like
to
that.
come and visit.
So,
Yeah.
and it was very dangerous to step anywhere because
Yeah.
you could just fall through the
Through the floors.
floor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
Right. Well,
Should we try with the bear up here? Or?
we could try with the bear.
I have had the bear on and I had nothing, so I've just
Nothing-
turned it off for the
nothing
moment
yet.
to preserve some.
Why is that light flickering?
that's...
Oh,
No, hold on.
hang on. Rando?
Okay, those lights just went off. I think that's on. Why is that? That's kind of weird that just started happening.
Shall I
Turn the bear on. Turn the bear on. You can't. Just set it down on the floor real quick. You honestly can't script this. So electronic malfunctions, things like that. Are you used to this?
Sometimes it happens. Yeah, I think it's
Not
kind
fast
of
that much.
the battery is draining probably, and
Mm.
it's just flickering in a weird way. Here we go. It went on all the. It's kind of strange because actually they're all charged at the same time, so they should have.
Really?
Yeah.
They should all have same amount of power.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Funny enough, I'll check that passage 1 second. Interestingly enough, one way spirits communicate is through electronic interference. So it is interesting as we're talking about it. The light started flashing. Yeah, turn your light on. What passage?
Down there.
There's a passage down there. Does that just go back into the room we were in?
I don't know.
Yeah, well,
Whoa.
that goes back to the staircase.
Oh, okay. Alright, love it. They just left me up here by myself while I was getting some B-roll. No light, no nothing. Alright, so that was interesting, the light flickering right when we were talking about it. We're going to head down to the uniforms, see if we can get any kind of spirit interaction. I'll be honest with you. Oh, look. Hey, look. Shine your light on it.
Ooh.
The plane's moving, but the others aren't. That's interesting.
There's no way anyone could do that, look.
No one's touched that. The plane's just spinning. Interesting.
Actually, how was that doing that? Look at the lines connected to the skylight.
Yeah. I don't know.
Just one individual line. It's crazy.
Well, stop now, whatever it was. That's weird. Right, let's have a move down. I'll be honest, this place is kind of creepy.
Have you seen the creepy doll in here? Have you not seen it?
The black-eyed doll?
Yeah.
Yeah, things about this doll.
From 1920s.
1920s.
I think? Yeah.
Yeah. This place has just something not right about it, honestly.
It's all the toys above as well. Everything just, it's quite eerie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Beautiful but eerie.
You know, you wouldn't even know if any of these dolls were haunted, especially with the history behind them.
Well, I just felt so negative when I looked at it. But you know, you just don't, yeah, you're right, you just don't know.
You never know.
'Cause these have obviously been passed down, so
Yeah.
stories that follow could be quite crazy.
Alright, so seeing as it's just become nightfall, now obviously there is the pub down below, which you may be able to hear, means we won't be able to do any EVP, but that's alright. This will just be a lesson if anything happens, that paranormal activity can happen whether there's people around or not. In reality, the energy could actually cause something to spike. I did bring Tesla, an EMF detecting bear. Obviously, we do believe spirits to be made of electromagnetic energy, and this picks up on it. So, I'm just going to set Tesla here. Just rest gently against this toy boat. I think the first thing we should do maybe is run a spirit box. You're more than welcome to join, actually. Just I can show you what these devices do.
All right.
Have you ever heard of a spirit box?
Nope.
So a spirit box essentially is a radio, but more specifically, it's a hacked radio. So it's a radio that consistently sweeps through radio stations. And it is believed, and I've been researching this for years, that intelligent voices can actually come forward in between the radio stations to speak to you. How we verify this is what we call the validation technique. So if you ask, say, a spirit or an entity to repeat back word for you, and it starts saying it over and over and over and over again, whatever words you ask every time or most times, then you can start to get an idea that it could be something paranormal. So I'll run the spirit box. So this will be your first time ever experiencing one of these.
I've never seen anything like this before.
Alright, so I'll turn it on.
Quite interesting.
And we shall see what happens.
Scanning FM.
It can't be quite loud. I'll turn down the volume.
Those doses, those affected will have that way.
Hello? To be fair, the speed on this is quite slow. There we go. Speeding it up a little bit.
A moment's silence to remember.
Now, if there's anybody here whatsoever, could you come forward and clearly say, I can hear you if you can hear my voice?
No.
I just said help. Do you need help? If you need help, can you clearly and purpose say, help me? I might speed it up in a minute.
Might help to turn it up again.
Say again?
You turn it up, it might help as well. It's hard to hear actually.
I think it's because you're facing the other way from it. You could do. Alright, I'm going to run it at a faster rate. If you need help, could you clearly and with purpose say, help me? Give it a moment. Clear. Right. So far, can't say we're getting anything.
Quite items. A bit more personal.
Is there anybody here with us?
Possible that there was something.
Nothing yet. We'll let it sleep for another minute and we'll just see. Tell you what. Pull your hand. Hold it.
Yeah.
You work here. You both work here.
Yeah.
So, how about we let you guys ask the questions and see if anything happens?
All right.
Maybe ask, do you know my name?
Do you know my name? Hello? Do you know who I am?
Can you say his name for us?
Maybe can't hear it.
Give it a moment. It takes a moment sometimes. If it's going to do anything.
Hello?
So let me just get my antenna out and we'll get started. Do me a favor, just film the bear.
What does the bear do?
The bear picks up on electromagnetic energy. So it is believed by some.
Andrew, does the light normally stay on?
Yeah, that one always stays on.
Okay.
Unless you know it's on.
Okay.
It's believed that spirits are made up of electromagnetic energy. So we use these devices. The reason this particular one's in a bear, they're called trigger objects. That's used for like supposed child spirits. So something more comfortable. More modern day devices tend to look quite alien, especially if you're trying to communicate with something that died like hundreds upon hundreds of years ago. They wouldn't be as keen to approach.
Oh.
Yeah, keep it on the bear for sure. They wouldn't be as keen to approach. Where is the antenna? A device that looked like it was made in the space age. You know what I mean? Yeah, just keep it on that while I try
Yeah, we'll
and
do.
find this bloody antenna. In fact,
Do you want a flashlight?
I'll use this for a minute.
Okay, that's fine.
Is there a way to get a response from ghosts and such if they don't kind of answer the typical?
I can see it, babe. I can see it. There it is, back
Oh,
to
it's
back.
right there. Jeez. Sorry, what was your question?
Is there a way to kind of contact ghosts in a like non-typical way? So obviously, when you first start, you're asking, what's your name, who are you, where are you from?
Yeah.
Are there kind of any unique questions that just seem to get a response from ghosts?
The most common question that you get a response is, if you need help, please say help me. And I have documented this thousands of times. You can get spirits just
Well, we
screaming
heard
for
it,
help.
didn't we, on the radio briefly?
Yeah, briefly, a help me. Now, that spirit box I was using a moment ago doesn't work as well as doing it the traditional way, which is on my channel. I always do it the old-fashioned way. Obviously, you can never guarantee communication, but when it happens, it's pretty impressive, actually. So you'll see. Let's call out for the name. So, allegedly, this location is haunted by Lionel Crabb. If the spirit of Lionel Crabb still remains here in the Sallyport Inn, can you try to say your name, Lionel? I want to add the bear is lighting up, so I'm going to stand back here actually.
Is it? Why is it not talking?
Try to stand there, and maybe you can get both of us on camera.
Okay. Tilt the bear more towards me if you twist the bear around slightly. That's it. Yes. Awesome. Thanks.
Is the spirit a Lionel Crabb here? If so, can you try to say your name for me, please? Nothing yet. Alright.
Here.
I just heard here, but that wasn't what I asked. Alright, you're saying here. Is that Lionel is here? Can you say Lionel, please? Alright. Very well, it could not be, it might not be Lionel, and that's why they're not answering if there is going to be a response. Earlier we thought we heard you say help. If you need our help, could you very clearly and with purpose say the words help me? Nothing yet. Where?
What was that?
I'll listen back to it. Can you hear me? Say help me if you need our help.
And you hope that it moves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
On the finger.
Yeah, you
But don't put too much weight like, on the
basically,
planchette.
you put your finger on really lightly, like don't put any weight behind it, and then
And it's supposed to move well.
it's supposed to move on its side.
Hang on, let me go on the other side. It'll probably be easier. Oh god.
So we'll have you film there so that you can see the words.
Let me just get down.
So essentially, to use one of these devices, now Ouija boards date back well into the 1800s. Usually oracles would use them. You place the finger on it very, very gently. So go on and join me on this. It would have to be on the edge, so place yours on the, there you go. Now very gently. Now the idea is we're supposed to call out and see if the spirits will come forward. Well, I recommend, follow me. We're going to spin it 3 times around the board. Oh, okay.
What are we doing?
Spinning it around in circles, build up
building
some
energy. So
energy.
try and keep the point up.
Oh, I got you.
And we'll spin it a couple times to try and build the energy. If there are any spirits here tonight, please use the Ouija board to try and communicate with us. Alright, we can give it a break now. I'll keep your finger very lightly. Is there anybody here with us tonight? Please use this board to communicate. Is there any way you can communicate with us through this device? There should be, in theory, several spirits here based on several factors of this building. Can you move the planchette to yes or no if you're interested in communicating? As I figured it's probably going to be a bust.
Yeah.
Ouija boards very rarely work, and most of the time you have to think.
How did they get so popular then if they don't really work very often?
They're very popular.
Urban legend. Well, you've never heard of a Ouija board?
It's the first time I see such thing.
Really?
Really? Oh wow.
I've never heard of anything like it.
Maybe they're not that common, like where you're from. Or...
No. Then, well, I'm not into this
You're not
kind of
into
thing
the
They're
anymore.
quite
as well.
superstitious in Romania though, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they're very superstitious. They believe in all sorts of things. It's all the dead people and ghosts and things. They go and unbury people and literally put a sort of a big nail through their hearts and stuff like that. Yeah,
Whoa.
there's all sorts
So
of
they
weird
go?
things happening. Yeah.
Maybe that's why you haven't seen one then. They might be so superstitious they don't actually want to use this sort of thing or ever heard of bringing them into houses and stuff. I don't know.
I mean, people are very religious as well. All sorts of
Yeah.
things like this happenings. It's just a mismatch of everything. There in
Wow.
the East, it's a very kind of weird world. It's quite interesting.
Does it make a difference whether a man or a woman asks? Because obviously, if you have like female ghosts or male ghosts, they might respond better to
Sometimes it does
certain
actually.
genders.
Feel free to ask a question and see if it'll answer yes or no or anything.
Are you present with us in this moment? Are you a man? Are you a woman?
I don't think you'll get much.
I don't think we're gonna get anything.
I
out
don't
of
think you
this.
are.
I don't think so.
Right, you want to move it to goodbye with me?
Yeah.
Goodbye. Thank you for trying or not trying.
Is that something you have to do then when you finish a Ouija board? Otherwise, it's like bad omens.
Yeah, you must always say goodbye.
I see.
Superstition, obviously, into it. They never keep a planchette on a Ouija board. I have had Ouija boards work. Back in the day, we had a prototype project where we turned an entire table into Ouija board, right? We built a planchette, a big wooden planchette, but on the bottom we put 3 wheels that rotated as well. And funny enough, and I caught this on camera, while you put your finger on the planchette, and we all had it, in order for it to move, obviously the wheels would roll it around. But we put the camera, it was high enough up that we could put the camera underneath. And we saw the wheels, while the planchette was dead still, the wheels rotating which direction they were going to go first before it moved.
Wow.
So, I got that all on camera. I'll play the clip now. I'm filming right now.
Well, no, you need both your hands on.
You need both your lights
It's still working. Everybody, Ouija board confirmed. This is Proving Demons telling you, Ouija board 100% confirmed. I'll make this a short video. My friend, could you please bring it to hello for me, just to say hello? Just to, oh my god, it is 100% confirmed. I was so iffy about it. Oh wait, L? What are you trying to spell, my friend? What are you trying to spell? Okay, Allison. What about Allison? Come on, my friend.
Do you have a message for Alison? If you do, go to yes, please.
It's just pointing at you.
Do you want Alison on the board? Andrew, take it back to the centre a minute. You pull it back to centre.
Back to center. My friend, this is a great day for me. I've never believed fully the Ouija board until today, after doing this by myself. Holy crap. Is there something you would like to say to anybody at all on this planet? Is there a message you'd like to give? Alright.
Wheel's turning, look. The wheel is swivelling, look at that.
The wheel's swivelling underneath.
Yeah.
Well, come on, my friend. Let me just relax and take a breath. Oh, here we go. My friend?
Yes.
Right, so Ouija boards do actually work, everyone. Now, that is such an old video of mine. But, yeah, quite interesting. Well, tell you what, guys. I appreciate you letting us come and try to go in and you giving us the history.
Experience.
Absolutely. Again, anybody watching, if you are interested in anything here, I'll put a jump cut that I just hiccuped. Make sure to come. Why is my mind so...
Start from the first sentence, if you're interested.
Sally Antiques. That's just what you call it. And this is at the Sally Port. Now, if you guys are interested in any of the items here, or just even wanting to meet the people here, at the Sally Port Inn, come check out Sally Antiques. Pay this place a visit, because as you can see around, it's just floors upon floors of history. It's absolutely incredible
I've
here.
never seen anything like this. This is probably the biggest place of this kind in the country.
I'd have to agree. I've not seen anything this incredible. Even this puts most museums to shame. And everything's for sale here.
It's a museum where everything's for sale.
Exactly. So again, if you guys do want to see us come back here on a night where the pub down below is closed and do, you know, a silent, non-interfered investigation, let us know in the comments below. Again, smash the like, 3,000 likes, and it's all yours. Before you go, though, again, thank you all. Click this link right here. This video, absolute banger of a video. If you missed it, you definitely want to check it out. Tons of paranormal activity. It was a crazy, crazy night. And I'll end it, as we always do. Do you believe yet?